Hey guys, Caleb Thornton here with a review of the GMMK from Glorious, which is a modular mechanical keyboard. Also comes in a decent budget-friendly price, can be picked up in this bare bones option, or you can also throw on some keycaps and switches on their website if you want to customize it to your liking there. They are currently working on their GMMK Pro and it is in pre-order right now. And though it does feature, some better things than the original GMMK, it is also substantially more expensive. So still leaving this in a nice, more budget-friendly price point. Gonna be good for those of you wanting to get into the world of customizing your own mechanical keyboard and just wanting to keep that price down as well. You can pick this up in a 60%, a TKL, as well as a full-size layout. And you can also get it either in a white or black colorway. Starting off with just that bare bones option, which means no provided switches or keycaps. It is $60 across the board, and that's no matter which size you choose, which is kind of odd that the price doesn't change with the size of the keyboard, but it is just the way it is. From that point on though, you can choose to add switches if you want, which they do have a decent selection of on the website, keycaps as well as O-rings if you want to try to dampen that sound. Obviously though, those are all optional things. You can just pick it up bare bones and then choose to add your own additional switches or keycaps, aftermarket stuff, whatever you might want to put on the board. In the box, you're gonna get your bare bones GMMK, your detachable USB-C cable, switch and keycap puller, some additional rubber feet, as well as a couple custom Glorious keycaps. Though this board is Hotswap, it is only 3-pin acceptable, which is kind of a bummer, so you're not gonna be able to pop any 5-pin switches in here, unless of course you want to go through the process of actually cutting off all those extra legs on them. It does have RGB backlighting and the LEDs are north facing, which might cause an issue for some of you guys as far as switch type you want to pop in here. For the stabilizers, they are plate mounted and they're decent. We'll get more into that of course when we hop into the sound test. They are pre-lubed from the factory and it's fairly inconsistent. Obviously you're only going to benefit from doing it yourself, and that's one of the benefits of having the Hotswap board is you can easily pop them out and do that. And if you guys want to watch me do that, I'm actually going to be building this out with some Glorious Panda switches, which I got as well, and also clipping, lubing the stabilizers, maybe band-aid modding too. So if you guys want to see me go through that process, if you guys maybe want to know how to, or you plan on picking up and you want to do it yourself on the GMMK, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for that video. Taking a look at the board itself, you do get an aluminum top plate, which looks really nice and also adds to the structural integrity with that plastic bottom shell as well. Very solid overall, definitely no creaking or flexing in the frame. Even with pressure put on it, it just feels very premium for the price point it sits at. Your USB-C port on the back is a little bit off-center to the left, so for those of you guys that like to use those custom coiled cables, should work just fine with that for that left to right run. On the bottom, you do get 4 rubber feet, and again, they do include some replacement ones in the box, just in case, I guess, you ever need to actually replace those. And then you do get 1 level of adjustability as far as the incline goes with those flip-out legs on the back as well, which is nice to have included. Overall, just the build quality and the feel of the board in hand, I was really impressed with, and I think they did a great job. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick sound test of it now, and this is gonna be completely stock, nothing changed on it at all, as well as these completely stock Glorious Pandas switches. So again, I'm gonna be doing a video here soon where I'm actually lubing the switches, modding the board where it'll sound better, but this is how it's going to sound right out of the box. As you guys can hear from that sound test, really solid overall, and it's definitely better than I was expecting. Not a ton of pinginess or anything like that from that aluminum top plate like we see with some aluminum top plate boards. Overall, it just sounds really nice. Of course, these are tactile switches, so I'm expecting them to be a bit louder than a linear, but they feel really nice too, and obviously we'll get into that more actually when we hop into the actual build video of this where I actually mod it out. But the stabs for a pre-built stock board, really solid, really well balanced overall. Not a ton of rattliness in them either. I was just really impressed with them. Obviously we can only improve upon that, and it's easy to do since it is a Hotswap board, so it's nice to have the option available. But if you just want to use this thing right out of the box, pop your switches, keycaps on, it sounds really good, honestly. Just quickly touching on the software, it is pretty underwhelming. It doesn't give you very many options. There's very little to go off there as far as customization goes at least, but you can switch between your RGB effects, you can set macros, change your report rate, and you also have 3 different profiles to work with there, so not a ton to do, but Glorious does have their new core software, which we recently seen them be using with some of their most recent products, and it'll be nice to hopefully see them eventually integrate their older products into that software and then also give some more options. Hopefully we'll see that in the near future. Overall, I think Glorious did a great job with the GMK, and I think for what the price point is and what it's supposed to be, I think it does a good job at it and it delivers really well. Again, they are working on their GMMK Pro, and it is in pre-order right now, and it is gonna be better in a lot of ways. You know, it's gasket mounted, has those south-facing LEDs, and it is 5-pin hot swappable, but again, the price point on this is so much lower, that having a substantially higher price point. So I think with where this is at, I still think gives you great bang for your buck. Just realize it is only 3-pin acceptable, as well as has those north-facing LEDs, so that's gonna cause any issues for the switches you wanna use in here. Besides that though, really great build quality. I think it sounds great out of the box, and of course it's nice for those of you just wanting to hop into the customization of mechanical keyboards, because it can be very expensive, but this still sits at a nice, more budget-friendly price point for what it can charge you, especially depending on where you go with it. But overall, definitely a recommendation for me, and I think it's worth a look if you're wanting to get something like this. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you found it helpful or informative, please hit that like button for me, and do consider subscribing for more tech content just like this coming up in the very near future. If you have any questions about the board or just my time using it, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll try my best to get back to you and answer them to the best of my ability. But I'll see you guys in the next video.